We've all been there, right? It's the end of a long day. You've just walked in the door, dinner's not even a thought yet, and then it starts. The meltdown. Not just a few tears, but that full-blown, room-filling cry that feels like it's never, ever going to end. And you try everything. You reason, you explain, you ask them to please, please stop, but it feels like you're talking to a wall. And as you feel your own frustration rising, that little question pops into your head, the one every single parent has asked. Why can't they just calm down? It's a totally understandable moment of desperation. But here's the thing. The answer isn't about their behavior. It's about what's happening inside their brain. So, to really get to the bottom of these emotional storms, we have to look past what we're seeing on the outside and peek inside at the powerful biological reaction that's taking place. All right, let's get into it. So here's the first big takeaway. What looks like simple defiance is actually a full-on neurological event. During a meltdown, something ancient and incredibly powerful takes over your child's brain, and it makes logic and reason, well, pretty much impossible. Okay, so deep inside the brain, we have this little almond-shaped part called the amygdala. You can think of it as the brain's super sensitive alarm system. When it senses danger, and this is so important, it can be emotional danger, not just a tiger chasing them. It pulls the fire alarm, and that alarm screams one thing: protect yourself! Now, the very second that alarm goes off, the more evolved, thinking part of the brain, the prefrontal cortex, the part that handles logic and reasoning and not hitting your brother, it just goes offline. It's like a sudden power outage in the brain's control center. Your child literally loses access to the part of their brain that helps them make good choices. So look at this. The difference is just night and day. When things are calm, the thinking brain is driving the bus. But during a meltdown, that emotional alarm system hijacks the whole operation. The most important thing to get is this. Your child isn't choosing to be difficult. Their brain is just completely flooded with emotion, and honestly, they're just along for the ride. So, if their thinking brain is completely checked out, what on earth are we supposed to do? Well, this is where everything changes. The secret isn't about controlling your child's out-of-control brain. It's about regulating your own. In that moment, you become the anchor in their storm. This right here, this is the secret weapon we were never taught. Just let that sink in for a second. The most powerful, most effective tool you have is not a consequence or a lecture or a timeout. It's your own state of calm. You might be wondering, how does that even work? Well, it's fascinating. Kids are basically emotional mirrors. They don't just listen to your words. Their nervous system literally feels your nervous system. If we meet their chaos with our own stress and frantic energy, we're just adding fuel to the fire. But if we can find our center, their little bodies will instinctively start to copy our calm. Okay, so that all sounds good in theory, right? But how do you actually do it when you're in the thick of it? Let's get really practical here and talk about a simple toolkit you can use to become that anchor for them. Now, these aren't magic tricks. They're just 3 small but incredibly powerful steps, all based in neuroscience, that can help guide your child's brain out of that alarm state and back to a feeling of safety. Okay, step 1, and this is absolutely critical. Connect before you correct. Get down on their physical level, try to make some gentle eye contact, and just say, "I'm right here with you." That simple act of connection sends a massive safety signal to their brain. Then, step 2, breathe together. You go first. Take a slow, deep breath in and an even slower breath out. This literally activates the body's built-in calming system. And finally, step 3, name the feeling. Just put a label on the emotion. Say something like, "You feel so angry right now." The act of naming an emotion actually helps bring that thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, back online. And that whole breathing thing, it's not just a distraction. When you take a deep, slow breath, you're physically activating something called the vagus nerve. You can think of it as the body's own calm down button. When you push it, it sends a direct message to the brain to slow down the heart rate and get out of that fight or flight panic mode. So yeah, this process really helps in the moment, but the real power of doing this, the true magic, goes so much deeper than just stopping one tantrum. What you're really doing is helping to shape your child's brain for the rest of their life. I really want you to hear this. Every single time you co-regulate with your child, every time you help them find their way from chaos back to calm, you are not just putting out a fire, you are physically building and strengthening the neural pathways in their brain for emotional resilience. Think about the incredible gifts you're giving them long term. You're teaching their nervous system that big, intense feelings are safe and survivable. You're literally building the brain wiring they'll need to calm themselves down later in life. And on the deepest level, you are showing them that your love is a safe place and that it is so much stronger than their biggest fears. So the next time that storm hits, and we all know it will, just remember this one simple, powerful truth. Their journey back to calm always, always begins with yours. Because when we understand the science, we don't just get through the tough moments, we actually help our children grow into stronger, more resilient people.